Good afternoon. I'm Jim Hodge, President and CEO of the Children's Trust.
And I'm Ileana Varela with the Herbert Wertheim College of Medicine at FIU. And together, we want to welcome you to Our Children.
Making sure children are healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeeding in school and in life. This is Our Children, a program brought to you by the Children's Trust.
No one would argue that children deserve to grow up in a safe and caring home with parents who support and love them unconditionally.
But right now in Miami-Dade County, the reality is that an estimated 3,000 children are in foster care, many waiting to find their forever families.
Recently, some of these children enjoyed a fun-filled day of photo shoot at Zoo Miami thanks to the Miami Heart Gallery, a collaboration between the Children's Trust and Our Kids of Miami-Dade and Monroe. Let's take a look.
Who am I focusing on? Absolutely. Want to see your tongue? I want you to look at his tongue. Hi, brother. Just every day is hard work here at Zoo Miami. Reach out. Big That's a great picture.
It's great to see all those smiling faces, Ileana.
Sure
I was
is.
there. I was
Yeah.
lucky enough to be there, and it was a very special day for the kids. Joining us now to talk about the Miami Heart Gallery, how it works, and how you become a foster adoptive parent is Flora Beal from Our Kids, an organization committed to creating safe havens for children and families in Miami-Dade and Monroe counties.
Flora, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the invite. It's a pleasure.
I guess we'll start with the key question is, how serious is the situation? How many children are in the welfare system waiting for a forever home?
So we have more than 100 children right now that don't have a forever family identified and are looking for somebody to love them and somewhere that they can feel like they belong, which is really all that they want.
Mm-hmm.
And what is your goal with this program? How many do you actually hope to place? Obviously, ideally,
All of them.
All of them. I knew she was going to say that.
Absolutely, as many as we possibly can. You know, we have a great need for families that are willing to open their hearts and their homes to our children and our community. You know, these are our kids.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that we use every avenue possible to try and find a forever family for each and every one of the children that we have in our care. Unfortunately, sometimes they can't go back safely to their families, and so we have to try and get them as close to that feeling of belongingness and love and guidance and care that we possibly can in our
And how
community.
successful have you been this year in placing? How many children have you been able to?
So our goal for this year is about 300 children, and already we've done more than 230 adoptions.
Wow, that's
so
wonderful.
we're close to that goal, but there's still a long way to go. And really, we don't want to look at the numbers. What we want to look is at the children. And there's children that are still waiting, and that's really all we care about at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Flora, talk to us about the Heart Gallery and how it works and how do we introduce people who want to adopt to the children.
So it's an online gallery where you can actually go and you can look at the photos as well as videos of these children to get to know them a little bit better. And then you contact us through the Children's Trust, and then we go through that process of doing a first interview to see, you know, what your goals are and what our goals are and make sure that they're in line. And then we put you through a training class to make sure that you are equipped to be able to handle some of the traumas, because let's face it, a child has been through a trauma when they've been removed from their home. And we ask our children not to take candy from strangers, right, or speak to strangers,
Right.
but then we ask them to go live in a stranger's
it's very
home
difficult,
and
yeah.
wake up the next morning and act like nothing has happened. And let's be real, that's just not a realistic expectation. reunification. So we have to train our parents for that, and we send them through that training. We do a background check because we want to make sure that we're putting them in safe homes. We also go out and look at the actual home to make sure it's physically safe and that you have the space. And there's a lot of benefits that come with adopting from the foster care system.
So you've already kind of touched on some of the steps within the process, but once someone says to themselves, you know, I'm at that point where I want to bring a child into my life, what's the first step? What should they do?
Call the Children's Trust line. Let us know that you're interested. And then we'll go from there, you know, step by step to make sure that this is the right decision for you. And then we try and match you with the child if you don't already have one identified, which you can try and identify one through the Heart Gallery. And then we go, you know, step by step from there.
And you mentioned some of those steps, you know, looking at the home, looking at the environment. I have a feeling that there's a lot of misconception out there, and it's because of lack of information, I think.
Sure.
You know, and I've heard it myself. Oh, you know, you have to be married. If you're not married, you can't adopt. Or you have to make a certain income. You have to own a house. Can you address some of those?
So you can be a homeowner or a renter. You just have to show financial viability. In other words, you're not depending on any of the subsidies that come from adopting from the foster care system to be able to provide for yourself, right? So you don't have to be rich, you just have to be financially viable. You can be 21 or older. So you don't have to be necessarily in your mid, you know, 30s or 40s to adopt. And you don't have to be perfect to be perfect for a child.
Yeah, that's a very key question there that a lot of people wonder.
There's a lot of questions, and I know as people looking to adopt, the ultimate goal is to reunite these children with their parents, but sometimes that doesn't occur. So the people who want to adopt sometimes have concerns regarding, if I take a child into my house and I build that strong connection with them, it's going to be hard to depart or hard to separate. So when that does occur, do you provide support? Is there a process of how that works?
So it's a good point because we do encourage the process of fostering to adopt. So first become a foster parent, and we do ask that you take the children in and work with the parents hand in hand, kind of co-parenting, to see that if we can make that child, that parent, the best parent that they can be for that child and have them keep that child safe, yes, the best place psychologically and emotionally is going to be for them to go back to their homes. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, that's not possible sometimes. And that child does become available for adoption. So if you've already had that child in your home for a while, it's going to be much easier to go through that process.
So you have priority,
of adoption.
if you're the child's foster parent, you have priority towards adoption?
Absolutely. So it's important to note that whenever we have children that come into the foster care system, because the last thing that we want to do is take a child from their home. We do everything possible, working hand in hand with the Department of Children and Families, to try and make sure that we don't have to remove the child. So we use a lot of the services that are funded by the Children's Trust and other organizations throughout the community to see if we can keep that child in the home without having to remove them. If we can't, we always go to relatives, because relatives do take priority over everybody else in the process. But if that relative didn't step up 2 years ago when the child first came into the system, if you had that child in the home, and all of a sudden they do want to adopt, it would go through an adoption process, a review process, right? But we do take into consideration the bond that has been built over the time that child has been in your home, so you have a good chance. And a lot of the times that process has already been done through that reunification time that we were trying to get the child back to the home, so that when the child becomes available for adoption, we've already exhausted all of those avenues. And you are, of course, the priority, because the child has built that trust, that confidence, and that sense of belonging in your home.
And just to clarify, the children who are on the Heart Gallery, the parental rights have been terminated.
So the children that are on the Heart Gallery, very important, have already gone through that process. So there is no reunification. They've already been had their parental rights terminated, and they are available for adoption and waiting for somebody to identify them and say, this is the child that I want for my life.
And the parents don't have any claim on them to come back years later?
Once the termination of parental rights has been done and the appeal processes have been exhausted, that's it. No more second chances.
If you'd like to learn more about the Miami Heart Gallery and experience it for yourself, go to www.miamiheartgallery.org.
Well, thank you, Flora, for giving us such important information, because literally children's lives can be enriched by
No,
adoption.
thank
and
you for
finding a
helping
loving
us
home.
get this word out to the community and trying to find one more home for one more child.
Well, let's change these children's lives. Up next, lights, camera, action. The excitement is back. Auditions for Young Talent Big Dreams are about to get underway, and we have all the details for your rising star coming up next, so don't go away.
Va a hacer la lista y ella no estuvo presente.
Right now, a child is waiting to love.
How long have you been in foster care?
8 years.
She's looking for a home,
Someone that'll be there for you no matter what.
for stability. These are the children in our foster care system, and they are waiting for you.
I'm on ahead. I'm ready.
Open your heart and adopt a foster child. Log on to the Children's Trust MiamiHeartGallery.org and let love change your life.
Keep kids from wasting away their days online. Set time limits on tech use and establish device-free zones like the dinner table, at home, and in restaurants. For more helpful tips and to sign up for a free monthly parenting newsletter, visit thechildrenstrust.org and follow us on social media.
Welcome back. The Young Talent Big Dreams competition, produced by Actors Playhouse at the Miracle Theater and sponsored by the Children's Trust, is a unique opportunity for Miami-Dade children and youth to take advantage of professional mentorship in the performing arts.
Now in its 9th year, auditions for the 2019 season are about to get underway. And if last year's finalists are any indication, we're in for another exciting and at times nail-biting competition at the theater. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from last year's finals.
We have vocal and jazz, we have Broadway music, we have original composition, we have band, we have dance, and we have all spoken word. And some of these categories are in groups, it's individual and groups, so it multiplies to 9.
In the end, I wasn't perfect, just broken. Perfection broke me, but imperfection made me. And I started writing everything down, and it just became my life, and I love it.
There's a whip Willow. He really knows.
Yeah, I was basically inspired by a lot of my family members that get into heartbreaks. This song is basically saying, oh, you shouldn't be sour about it. You should feel happy that you were basically that one person that inspired that other person to make someone else happy.
That's education. After this rap, you gonna have motivation. FSA.
So with all the killing that's going on, I think that I could get a voice out with the music that I write, like with the FSA. That'll get people motivated and stay off the streets and get into school, get into their books, and just get your head in the game completely.
It's a new way of expressing everything I can't express through my words, and it just allows me to get my message across in like different ways, and I feel like that's something special.
It is so wonderful to see the incredible young talent that's right here in our own backyard. And joining us now to talk about Young Talent Big Dreams is the man, Earl Maulding, the director of theater for young audiences at the Actors Playhouse. And obviously, welcome back.
Thank you.
You feel like like one of the family, so it's like, you know, whatever.
Always a joy and a pleasure to come spend some
And
time.
what a special day for you to come, because auditions kick off today, so the nerves, the excitement has to be like...
The new year
the
has
roof, right?
begun. I can't wait to get to the theater and find out what exciting talent has coming to join us.
More than you expected?
Always. Always.
Every year, right?
Every year. And our first date today, we've actually extended the time because we have so much interest, but never to worry because there's other dates that they can always come and join us over the next 6 weeks.
And we'll tell folks where to get that information as well.
And Earl, last year there were 6 individual and 3 group categories. Is that the same plan for this year? You plan on expanding?
Same plan for this year. We've got the 6 categories, the 2 vocal categories, the dance category, instrumental, spoken word, okay, that's an original piece, and then one of the hottest the last couple of years, the individual original compositions the songs and lyrics and music these young people come up with is amazing. And then there's the 3 group categories: dance, okay, vocal groups, and then bands/instrumental groups. We have added one little twist this year to encourage more groups. We've actually started a musicians exchange. There's a form online that if you're a single performer but you'd like to be part of a group, but you don't, it's not at a school or it's not available, you can fill out the form, and in very safe, I'll be the one person putting the groups together. We'll probably have an evening or an afternoon where they come together and we try to pair up some people and encourage some new groups, a new way to get involved.
For someone who's not a performer, because they can't sing, play any instrument or whatever, but to me, I think the scary part would be not necessarily performing, but choosing what to perform. Because you get 60 seconds, right?
Yeah, for the preliminary audition, it's 60 seconds.
I mean, it better be good. Any tips for kids out there on what they might choose?
I think first and most importantly, something that they can relate to. A piece, whether it's an instrumental piece or a song that they can relate to. When they sing it, it seems like, or they play it, it comes from the heart for them. Because that's first and most importantly what we're looking for: the passion, the love of performing. And then, of course, as much as possible for the singers, something within your vocal range, okay, is important. And be careful, not anything that's played on the radio too much, because it's overdone at this point, so.
And Young Talent Big Dreams allows everyone to reach their fullest potential. It doesn't matter because of income, it doesn't matter if you're professionally trained, but what has surprised you over the years?
Well, as you said, it is a free competition. Everyone is welcome. I think that the most heartwarming is the young people that hear about it and they say, you know what, I'd like to take a chance. And they're taking a chance on themselves, okay, and their parents support them, or a mentor at school or at their after-school program might support them. And the biggest surprise to me is the ones that come in with no training, but they get together with a friend, they say, hey, we've got some costumes, hey, let's, in the living room at home, let's practice, and let's put something together. And they come, take a chance on themselves, and they walk out feeling fabulous at the end of that performance, because again, they've taken a new step, and they'll never be the same, okay, after that.
And where that is so evident is the kids who don't get to the finals,
right,
but they keep coming back. And sometimes they come back more than once. And
oh, yeah.
My heart goes out to them, because first I feel, well, it's a little bit of rejection, but then I think about it and I feel like it's really character building, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we're very careful with that. We make, of course, anyone that advances to the semifinals, I personally take the time to generate notes from the judges. So before the semis, they can improve. And even those that do not advance, if they request feedback from the judges, we will make that available, because we learn, we feel it's part of the learning and growing process. I mean, they put themselves out there. We got to help them, continue to improve. And yes, they return time and time again saying, this year's my year. This year's my year. And that's good character building no matter what, if they're a performer or no matter what they're going to pursue. Yeah. That persistence, their belief in themselves.
You get up and do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
And today's competition is filling up, or it's already full. So is there a hope? Are there other opportunities for people to audition? Please tell us about that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have several dates at the Miracle Theater, today being the first. So we encourage anyone that's still interested, check out some of our other dates at the Miracle Theater. We're going down to the South Miami-Dade Performing Arts Center. We're going out west to Miami Art Studio. And then a change of location. We're going to the Little Haiti Cultural Arts Complex for a date in February. A date in April.
So you're all over the place, so people have access. Yes. So we talked about the auditioning. Let's talk about the grand finale, the grand prize. What is the grand prize?
Well,
what's the payoff? Well, that's not what the payoff is, but what's the grand prize?
Well, for me, one of the most important things is these young people have a chance for master classes. Those that end up quote unquote winning. I mean, they're all winning because they've stepped up there and taken a chance. Right. But master classes for the next year, they represent the Young Talent Big Dreams as our all-stars, and they go throughout the community performing. So many different performance opportunities. All of our winners, there's a winner in each category. Okay, the best of the evening, we like to say in that category, because another night, might be a little different, okay, depending on the performances. They all receive a cash award, okay, for being the best that evening. The grand prize winner can win up to $500 in cash, and then a trip for two to the Teen Choice Awards, courtesy of WSVN. So
I'm sure that's a big
just, again, the idea of continued growth, and here's a little pat on the back, you know, for your excellence tonight, and
wonderful.
keep learning, keep growing.
What a great program. Earl, thank you so much for coming again, and we'll, of course, see you again next year. So here's the information. If you know a child ages 8 to 17 who would like to audition, visit actorsplayhouse.org for more information, including the list of audition venues, dates, and times, even though Earl kind of touched up on that. All right, folks, you don't want to miss your chance to shine. And now we're going to go from the stage to the most important stages of life. Up next, why every child should thrive by 5, and how a new program is helping families in our community to do just that. So do not go away.
An independent child is a healthy child, so identify small tasks your kids can complete alone to build their confidence and self-esteem. For more helpful tips and to sign up for a free monthly parenting newsletter, visit thechildrenstrust.org and follow us on social media.
Young Talent, Big Dreams. The most comprehensive local youth talent competition for performers ages 8 to 17 is auditioning talented kids throughout Miami-Dade County. Presented by the Actors Playhouse at the Miracle Theater and the Children's Trust, talented kids compete for prizes, scholarships, and performance opportunities. For complete details, visit these websites or call 211.
He's so tiny.
Scary to even hold her.
Life with children is a journey
Finding childcare is so overwhelming.
filled with choices,
I'm worried about after school.
Is he making the right friends?
with danger and opportunity.
Something to motivate him.
If she just had a job.
And from the day they are born to the day they graduate, you'll have all the support you need from the Children's Trust. The Children's Trust, because all children are our children.
Welcome back. Did you know that 85% of brain development occurs by the age of 3? That's why early learning and access to quality childcare is critical for every child.
Yeah, and that's why the Children's Trust has invested in an array of strategies to support young children's physical, cognitive, social, and emotional readiness for starting school. Collectively, this program is known as Thrive by 5.
The Children's Trust Board unanimously approved 4 funding resolutions in January. That'll bring Miami-Dade County more than $20 million in state and federal funding and provide nearly 2,700 high-quality early learning childcare slots for low-income families.
And joining us now to talk about Thrive by 5 is Rachel Spector. She's a senior program manager at the Children's Trust who currently oversees funding for early childhood development. So I guess we'll begin at the beginning. What is Thrive by 5 in a nutshell?
Sure. So Thrive by 5 is the Children's Trust array collection of strategic investments to serve children birth to 5.
And how large is this initiative? I mean, financially and...
So we invest approximately $35 million each year in services serving children birth to 5. And we cover many different categories along those lines. So you mentioned early intervention. We fund evaluations and short-term intervention for children that may have developmental delays. We fund early literacy services. We have a book club and other supports to get books and parent out in the community and help educate parents on the importance of reading to their babies and young children. We fund early health services, vision screenings, and we give out glasses. I believe last year we gave out approximately 5,000 pairs of glasses to young children who are uninsured or underinsured. and we have an oral health initiative.
Wow, they go the whole spectrum.
Yes.
Yeah.
We also provide home visiting services and group parenting support for young children and their parents. And then one of our newest initiatives is our early learning quality improvement system.
And that's what I want to talk about. We have a lot of initiatives, but let's talk about the quality rating improvement system and how do we elevate quality in child care centers. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Sure. So high quality early learning experiences are essential for all children, especially for children living in poverty. And our goal is that all children arrive at school ready to learn and are prepared and ready to learn. And additionally, we would like all children in our community to have access to high quality early learning experiences, regardless of their zip code and where they live. So we go about that using several strategies. One strategy is we've created a tiered payment system to incentivize and reward early childhood programs to achieve and maintain high quality. We use a standardized assessment tool to determine quality, which measures the interactions between teachers and the children. We also developed a new scholarship program that will allow more families to have access to the high quality programs.
And I understand that you're also trying to tackle something that I really wasn't aware of until I started talking to you, and that's this rather disturbing and increasing trend of preschoolers being expelled.
Yes.
How are you tackling that?
We are addressing that. So some of the studies recently are showing that preschoolers have a rate at least 3 times higher, an expulsion rate at least 3 times higher than school-age children.
That's amazing. That's just unbelievable.
Very sad. And so, 3 and 4-year-olds essentially are being expelled from school or a soft expulsion. There's many different ways of getting children out of your program. And unfortunately, about half of these young children are African American boys. So our strategy, we've brought in an evidence-based model out of Georgetown University, which is called Early Childhood Mental Health Consultation for School-Based Settings. We're deploying 26 highly trained mental health consultants with a background in early childhood out to our community child care centers to work with teachers and parents to improve the social-emotional environments of the programs and increase relationships, which will prevent.
Rachel, talk to us a little bit about the parent scholarships. How do parents access those scholarships?
So our scholarship program is for parents that do not qualify for the federal scholarship program, the federal child care subsidy. They're over the limit, but they're still working poor. And we will offer them a scholarship to attend any of the programs participating in our early learning quality improvement system, the highest quality programs. And they can access those scholarships by applying at the Early Learning Coalition, www.elcmdm.org. And they, by way of applying for the school readiness program, they would be found eligible for scholarships.
We're running out of time, but we do want to invite you back and let us know how the program goes.
Great.
Thank you for joining us today.
Rachel, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And that's going to wrap it up for us today. I'm Ileana Varela on behalf of Jim Hodge and everyone here at the Children's Trust. Thanks for watching.
Our Children is brought to you by the Children's Trust. The Children's Trust invests in programs and services that help make children healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeed in school and in life. To access its funded programs and services in Miami-Dade County, visit thechildrenstrust.org or call the Children's Trust helpline at 211, because all children are our children.